Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out a video titled "The Truth About Living in Germany, an American's Point of View." So yeah, let's check out this video and find out what it's like to live in Germany, based off of, this guy's perspective. So you want to see the original video, link will be in the description. And if you have any recommendations, feel free to leave those in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Without further ado, let's check out this video, see what he has to say about Germany.
So when I landed in Germany, I remember the first thing that was kind of a shock was hopping on a train. I had never been on a train. Now it seems really normal, but I hopped on a train, went through the beautiful countrysides of Germany down to a little city called Marana. And I remember being kind of shocked at how small it was and that we had a car. And then there were little tiny things that were shocking to me. I mean, just for the fun of saying what they were, there was like a light switch. They're not like switches, they're kind of like pads. So you hit a whole entire pad. Or the pillows, they're not rectangle, they're squares. And they're windows, they don't open up and down or side to side. They tip in and out. And they open kind of like a door.
Right.
So there was a lot of little differences like that. Our apartment had our washer and dryer in the kitchen. And then I thought that was just our apartment, and then I realized a lot of
washer and dryer in the kitchen. Dang!
A lot of apartments are like that. So those were little tiny things, but nothing big. My favorite food in Germany is just schnitzel and rotkohl. Rotkohl is just red cabbage, and they would have Klöße. So that's basically it looks like a potato, but it's not. It's just a dumpling. I guess that's what it is in English. And that was my favorite, was when we just had schnitzel, rotkohl, and Klöße. I also really liked Rouladen, which was just meat rolled up and they'd marinate it, and it just tasted really good.
Sounds
I like
good.
their meat, simply said. I really learned to like red cabbage, which I disliked. I also liked sauerkraut. Didn't like that either. So, but by the end, I pretty much liked anything they put in front of me. The weather in Germany is similar to here in Utah. I mean, the hots are a little bit hotter and the colds are a little bit colder due to the humidity. I really like their traditions that revolve around music and the traditions that revolve around Christmas. They start Christmas at the very beginning of December, and they have the Advent site, which is the time of the Advent, and they have these Advent calendars.
I do believe that in the United States, Advent actually exists. However, I don't think it's practiced or understood, as maybe as Germans would understand it. But yeah, that's exist for most people with Christmas.
They have Advent wreaths, and they celebrate each Sunday prior to the Christmas morning. And that's a tradition that I would want to hold up for the rest of my life with my family. And another tradition that I found interesting was they open their gifts on Christmas Eve, which is interesting to me. I always thought you do it Christmas morning, but Germans are a little bit different that way. Let's see. Another cultural thing about Germany is,
isn't Christmas Eve the day before Christmas? If it is, I hope I'm correct. But I'd rather open it on Christmas Eve, now thinking about it, because I'm trying to have fun on Christmas Day. You know what I mean? So yeah, type shit.
The public transportation. So you don't see as many cars in cities, and the roads aren't very wide because they all take public transportation. It was interesting because I spent majority on the east side, which was under communist rule, where the DDR was these last not too long ago. And so we met a lot of people who were communists. I never thought that I would become friends with a bunch of communists. I just never crossed my mind as an American, but it ended up being wonderful. I had a lot of friends that had a lot of different political views that I had never really viewed before. I learned to respect other people's opinions a lot more, to not be so hasty to judging. And I realized that the ideals of communism can be appealing. I mean, maybe I shouldn't categorize them all as communists. A lot of them were just socialist and had more of those communistic ideals. But it was still an eye-opener to me when when I started making friends with people with other political perspectives.
Yeah, it sucks that I'm not, gonna just target this for the United States, because I think this is all over the world. I think it's just that, when it comes to America, people are so much more patriotic in whatever they're doing that it's way more dramatic, right? But it's so sad that humans, we cannot even, be friends with somebody who sees things in a different way. Like if I'm, let's say Christian and you're Muslim, like we hate on each other, and it's just belief, dude. Like I believe in my savior, you believe in your savior, you believe in your God, I believe in my God. It's ironic how, if I go for, let's say, Donald Trump and you go for Joe Biden, we can't be friends. If you go for Donald Trump, I go for Joe Biden, we can't be friends. It's really crazy how the world is, man. Like we hate on each other so harshly just because of small differences. It's like, wow. Even when you look at social status in life, the rich hates on the poor hates on the rich, the black guy might hate on the white guy hate on the black guy. It's like, dude, we hate on each other for the most ridiculous things, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very good, when you have that open mind, to be able to communicate and actually interact with people who are different, different views in view, you know what I mean? Like they look different, they have different outlook on society type shit, man.
When we're just socialist and had more of those communistic ideals, but it was still an eye-opener to me when I started making friends with people with other political perspectives. If you're wanting to learn German, the key to speaking any language, I think, is just speaking it constantly, and you can do it. I didn't think I was going to be able to learn a language, but I got a lot of support from my siblings who would write me letters saying, oh, you can try something more like this, try something like that. For example, my sister, she plays the piano, so she kept telling me to continue to study and memorize the charts of the German language, which tell you der, die, and das, so the masculine, feminine, and neuter cases,
okay,
and when it's going to be nominative, dative, genitive, things like that. And you memorize these endings, and she compared those to a scale, like when you're learning the piano. And so she said, just keep memorizing those. And that proved to be really beneficial. Also, in learning German, the first thing, I learned is was bedeutet. So what does this word mean? So you say was bedeutet.
First word I learned is Deutschland, Dankeschön. Yeah.
House, and then they'd say in English house, so that makes it so you can continue a conversation just by asking somebody what does that word mean, and then they can answer that. And then the second sentence I learned was wie sagt man. Wie sagt man means how do you say tree? So wie sagt man tree, and then they'd say Baum. So those two sentences were the first things I learned in German. And then from there, if you're stranded on the street, you have to speak, you can always struggle to put a sentence together. But really, in the end, learning the language wasn't the issue. After about 4 months, it was no longer an issue. I just woke up, studied the language, and it just came pretty naturally.
Sounds good, my boy. Sounds good. That sounds really good, man. Like, great props he gave about Germany. No harsh, nothing about Germany. He definitely had his moments of culture shock, and I do understand with that flippy switch that he was talking about, because it's the same thing in Finland. It's like not a switch for real. It's like not that. It's like a like a button. I don't know. But yeah, it's quite different in Germany for sure compared to the United States. So loved to hear about his perspective and how he actually learned the language, and that really actually makes sense. It's the same way how I'm trying to learn the Finnish language and actually incorporate some of my own techniques and see how that goes over a year's period. But either ways, man, thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Anyways, man, I'm out of here. Peace.